Hi, my name is Anthony and I will talk about the structural functionalism theory for this video. The structural functionalism theory is a theory that sees society as a delicate structure with interrelated parts designed to meet the needs of every individual. Structural functionalism theorists look at society at a macro level. They believe that society as a whole operates because of its societal institutions. Societal institutions are patterns of beliefs and behaviors focused on meeting social needs. An example of this would be the education institution. The education is an institution in which children are taught basic academic knowledge, learning skills, and cultural norms. They are responsible for teaching students both formal and informal education. Formal education describes the learning of academic facts and concepts through a structured curriculum, so this could be math and science. Informal education describes learning about cultural values, norms, and expected behaviors by participating in society. So, an example of this could be what we call in society common sense. By teaching students these things, students will receive the fullest possible development so they can live morally, creatively, and productively in society. After completing their educations, um, students can realize their function in society by working in other institutions such as healthcare, government, law enforcement, etc. If structural functionalism theorists were to talk about education on a macro level, they would probably talk about how various institutions in society depend on students that have recently graduated to function. Without the education institution, every other institution would fail over time since they no longer have any more prospects coming in to keep their institution running. Structural functionalism theorists often draw similarities between society and the human body. They compare society's institutions with a body's organs. In our bodies, if our hearts were to stop, then this would cause our organs to malfunction since they no longer had the means for blood to be pumped into them. Likewise, in our society, if one institution were to fail, then this would cause the other institutions to collapse. This was seen in our education example. Structural functionalism theorists see consensus and order in society. To functionalists, in a healthy society, all parts work together to maintain stability. This is called a dynamic equilibrium. To them, every institution carries its own function of maintaining a social stability in society. There are two types of functions: manifest functions and latent functions. Manifest functions are the results of a social process that are sought after or anticipated. So, for an example of manifest functions that are related to the education institution, a college education, for example, would include gaining knowledge about a certain career and finding a job that utilizes that education. While latent functions are the unsought consequences of a social process. Latent functions can be beneficial, neutral, or harmful. Some good ones would be during college, you could meet new friends, participate in clubs, or even finding a significant other. A bad latent functions, however, would be getting bad grades, dropping out, um, ultimately not finding any type of employment. These bad latent functions are called dysfunctions. The reason why the structural functions of theory appealed to me was because it was simply the most relatable to me. After learning about the structural function theories in class, it made me more socially aware of what was going on around me. For example, I used to believe in the stereotype that being a full-time McDonald's worker is one of the lowest points you can be in society. Perhaps this could be the case if we are talking about wages, since most of them do work for a minimum wage. However, after learning about this theory in class, I came to realize that these workers play key roles in feeding the public, and by being in the labor force in general, they are improving the economy. This is my final project. Thank you for watching.